Hello, good morning. This is Terry Allen. I'm a radical progressive, so that's why I call the show Radical Progressive. Well, I want to know if you are as pissed off as I am. Because this $908 billion stimulus package that apparently is a bipartisan effort, looks like it might get passed. Look at what's happening. These people in Congress are criminals. They need to be in prison. They should not be running this country. You should see what these people are doing. Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer, these bastards and the witch need to be thrown out of office and led off to prison. Because we didn't get any stimulus since May. Everything ended the end of July. Then they all went on vacation. And then there was a bill up before the election for $1.9 trillion that had a $1,200 payment in it for American people, and had extra $600 in it, like what we got in May, for the unemployment enhancement. And they turned it down because Nancy Pelosi said, and you can find this on YouTube, she said that all Trump wants to do is put his name on a check, and that ain't gonna happen. Unbelievable. These people are so out of touch. They are only worried about getting into office and having power. They don't care. Remember what George Carlin used to say? They don't give an F about you. It's a big club and you ain't in it. Well, that's what's happening. It's right before your eyes. And you fools voted for Biden. You fools. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And what's in this new stimulus bill? Well, there's no stimulus. There's an extra $300 a week for the unemployed. What that's going to do, I don't know. I talked to a person I just met, and she runs a real estate. What they do is it's a real estate management company, and they run apartment buildings. And she said that about 30% of the tenants are not paying rent, and the landlords don't get money. What happens is that the unemployed and the tenants are supposed to get money from the government to pay their rent, but they're not, so they can't pay their rent. The evictions are up December 31st, the moratorium against evictions. And that rent is adding up with penalties and interest. So coming January, you owe your rent plus all of the back rent. Who's going to do that? So let me tell you, if you've got 30 million people, which is what it looks like will end up being, kicked out of their homes, foreclosed on, this is a criminal mafia that's running this government, and it's running it into the ground. And this is capitalism. That is what is running amok, and it's free trade, unbridled, unregulated capitalism. And that's what destroys us. You go to Europe. Go to Europe. They're capitalists, but they have socialist programs much better than we've got. And they don't have any of this problem. 14 million people in the United States have lost their health insurance because they got laid off. So these criminals need to be in prison. You want 30 million people roaming around on the streets, starving? As I was saying about Europe, no one has lost their jobs. The European nations like Germany and France, Netherlands, Norway, I mean, you name these countries, and they are paying the employees, their citizens, to stay at home, and they're paying them. Some of them are getting 100% of their income. Some are getting 90%. Some are getting 80%. But they're in their homes. No one's getting evicted. And that's social democracy. And everybody's afraid of that. You can see with your own eyes what's going on with these psycho capitalist crazies. They have no clue. This $908 billion program has got money for transportation, which means airlines. It's got money for PPE. That's good. It's got money for education. And it's got some money in there for the military. Oh, they just passed or they're going to pass, I'm not sure, but the military budget still full blown. And with Biden, we're going to be going to more war. You can bet on that. So when are we going to get in the streets? When are we going to surround these people's homes and the Capitol building and take these people out? When are we going to do it? When you're starving to death and you can't even get to D.C.? This government needs to be overthrown. That brings up the third party, which we're calling it a major party now. It's the People's Party. That's the name of it. And we've got some good people that are joining. Progressive. It's a lot of the Bernie Sanders supporters that were stabbed in the back are moving to the People's Party. The problem is it's not soon enough. This should have been done back in 2016. But everybody was convinced that we could work with the Democratic Party and try to reform it. And then everybody supports Biden because you think that you can get him to do something after he's elected. Well, look what he's picked for his cabinet. Look, no progressives, scumbags, criminal scumbags, war criminals. Rahm Emanuel, Neera Tanden, they're these war hawks, and the crazies that are worried about the deficit. Unbelievable. And if you have a job, why should you care, right? You have a job, screw everybody else. What is happening to this country? Unbelievable. I have a job, but I am still angry as hell because the government is not doing what it's supposed to do, and everybody's crying about, oh my God, socialism, how horrible. Well, you're being lied to, you're being scammed, you're being brainwashed. Take a look at Europe, go through the specs, do some analysis, do some research, and find out about what capitalism with socialist programs do for the population. It's a hell of a lot better than what we're getting, which is crumbs. I cannot believe that we're getting no stimulus whatsoever. Nothing. Nancy Pelosi, look at some of the videos that she did, some of the press conferences, wagging her finger at the reporters for bringing up, oh, didn't you make a mistake by rejecting the $1.9 trillion program that the Republicans had agreed to? And she said, no, we made the decision to do it. Think about that. Think about how the Democrats are only worried about getting into office. They don't give a damn about their constituency. When are we going to wake up and shut this thing down and move over to the People's Party? When are we going to do it? When are we going to do it? The time is now. Oh my God. All right, I'm going to go because somebody told me that my videos are way too long and I'm giving people way too much information. So I'm going to start making shorter videos, more concise, looking at individual issues. But anyway, when are we going to be in the streets, my brothers and sisters? Okay, let's see how this nightmare turns out. Merry Christmas.